please remain standing for the singing of the national anthem, and we invite the audience to join us, please.
Would that be F?
Please be seated. Me too. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David Watts, as somebody just indicated, and I have the privilege of serving as president here at the University of Texas of the Permian Basin. And on behalf of the entire University of Texas Permian Basin family, it is my privilege to welcome you to this spring commencement ceremony, honoring these graduates who have earned their degrees during the spring semester of 2017. And a very special welcome to you, the families, friends, loved ones of our graduates. We know that you've done an enormous amount to help these folks achieve their dreams. And we have a few small children with us, and they may, like small children do. Yeah, there you go. We look forward to them registering in about 15 years here at UTPB. Today's commencement is being live streamed over YouTube. You can access it on youtube.com/UTPB. You can also access it on our webpage under the graduation link on the homepage. And we're doing this for a variety of reasons, but especially for those students who cannot attend. Today, UTPB serves students from literally all over the world, and it's just not possible for all of them to join us for this commencement ceremony. And we are delighted to be able to have them with us via YouTube. I also want to thank members of the university staff for all that they do to make this afternoon's ceremony possible. The Wagner Noel has to be set up. The police have to guide traffic. We have to have a nurse here to be sure that I'm taken care of when I have my heart attack. A whole host of reasons that staff have to work this event, and we're very grateful to them for giving us their Saturday. And also, and most importantly, I want to thank the faculty for what they do to help you, the graduates, achieve your goals. Would you like to do that? You know, they devote literally their professional lives to education and research. Another way to put that is they devote their professional lives to you. And so thank you very much for recognizing them. I'm now going to introduce the front row of the folks on stage. Please hold your applause until all are introduced. Dr. James Eldridge, President of the Faculty Senate and Professor of Kinesiology. Mr. Brian Schroeder, Assistant Controller at Sewell Family of Companies and UTPB Falcon Alumni Network member. Dr. Bill Price, Dean of the College of Business and Engineering. Dr. Roy Hurst, Interim Dean, College of Education. Dr. Dorothy Jackson, Dean, College of Nursing. Mr. Mark McGurk, Vice President of Business Affairs. Dr. Daniel Heimerman, Provost and Vice President. Dr. Sandra K. Woodley, President-Designate of UT Permian Basin. You'll be hearing more from her in just a moment. Dr. Julie Raphael Burnett, Associate VP of Research and Dean of Graduate Studies. Ms. Teresa Sewell, Senior Associate Vice President for Student Services. Dr. Michael Zavada, Dean, College of Arts and Sciences. Dr. Bill Harlow, Dean of Undergraduate Student Success. Dr. Todd Richardson, Associate Professor of English and member of the Graduate Council. And last but not least, who's not on the front row, but is stepping out of the wings right now, Mr. Joe Sanders, our registrar, who will be reading the graduates' names during the course of this ceremony. Now, one final thing about teaching at UTPB. It is what we do. And I'm so very grateful that the University of Texas Board of Regents have chosen to honor selected UTPB faculty to receive the Outstanding Teaching Award of the Board of Regents. And this is really one of the nation's premier teaching awards, really premier teaching awards, along with the medal that you will see them wearing, and along with a nice certificate. They also receive a check for $25,000. And I want to thank the Regents for putting their money where their mouth is. And while all of them may not be here today, I'd like you to know who they are. The 2016 award recipient, Dr. Rachel Harlow, Assistant Professor in Communication. She was with us this morning, and she has two small children. I think I know where she is. The 2015 award recipient, Mr. Michael Crane, Lecturer in Management and Director of the Roden Center for Entrepreneurship. He'll be here later this afternoon. Mr. Clark T. Moreland, Lecturer in English and the 2014 award recipient. Dr. Don Allen, Professor of Biology. He is the 2013 award recipient along with Dr. Tracy Gibson. The 2012 award recipients are Dr. Jim Olson, Professor of Psychology. Jim was with us this morning. Dr. Chris Hyatt, Associate Professor of Mathematics. Ms. Diana Younger, Lecturer in Psychology. The 2011 award recipients, Dr. Sophia Andres, Professor of English. Dr. Andres is also a member of the UT Teaching Academy. Dr. William Harlow, Associate Professor and Dean of Undergraduate Student Success. Ms. Lorraine Spickerman, Lecturer in Education. The 2009 award recipient was Dr. Doug Hale. Dr. Hale was is a founding faculty member. He chose to retire and now holds the rank of Professor Emeritus. Please join me in congratulating all these wonderful teachers. Now, it's now my privilege to introduce to you our new president and our commencement speaker today, Dr. Sandra K. Woodley. Now, I've known Dr. Woodley off and on for the last decades, and our paths have crossed multiple times, and so it's appropriate that our paths cross again. She's a native of Alabama, northeastern Alabama, and I spent almost a decade in northeastern Alabama at Jacksonville State University. She's going to tell you more about living in that part of the country and and her studies there. But she went on to accomplish great things as a student and was hired by the Alabama Commission on Higher Education, which is the equivalent of the Texas Coordinating Board. And at the Alabama Commission on Higher Education, she guided universities to improve their programs and other activities, and I got to know her in that capacity. Well, our paths separated for a while, and Dr. Woodley went on to Kentucky, University of Kentucky Board of Regents staff, then the University of Arizona Board of Regents staff, and then University of Texas Board of Regents, Vice Chancellor for Strategic Initiatives, where she worked for 3 years. And then another opportunity called. She went to the University of Louisiana, which is a name in Louisiana for an entire system. As president of the University of Louisiana, she supervised nine universities like UTPB. She was there for 3 years, and I'm not going to ask how many of you spent time in Louisiana. Let's just say I have. And I have some idea of what politics are like in Louisiana. I've always been grateful whenever I survived some degree of political change in Louisiana. Dr. Woodley, there was a change, and Dr. Woodley chose to leave. She then went to the American Association of State Colleges and Universities as a senior fellow, and now as a special advisor to Kentucky State University. Actually, let me change that. Now she's the president designate of the University of Texas of the Permian Basin. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Sandra K. Woodley.
I think we need to give a huge round of applause for Dr. Watts and all the commitment to this university. Thank you. As Dr. Watts mentioned, I grew up in a really small town in North Alabama. We had probably 5,000 people in the entire city. We had a red light at one point about 30 years ago. I think it's a four-way stop at this point. Like Odessa, Texas, our Friday nights revolved around high school football. Graduated from high school, and at 18, I got married. Pretty soon thereafter, I found myself with 2 small children and too many bills and not enough paycheck. It didn't take me long to recognize that I wanted something better for myself. I wanted something different for the future of my family. And instinctively, I knew that the only way that I was going to be able to accomplish this was to find some way to graduate from college. Now, no one in my family had ever graduated from college, and I didn't think I would ever graduate from college either. I started out in the community college, taking classes while juggling a small family, and I had more than a few obstacles in my way. As I look across the faces here today, I think some of you will relate to the obstacles that I had. The first obstacle was money, and I think more accurately I would say lack of money. So with Pell Grants and student loans, I found a way to graduate from college. I think in a few decades I may be one of the few 90-year-old great-grandmothers still paying off her student loans, and I think that's a true story. Secondly, the other obstacle was time. It was really difficult to find the time to go to school. I worked full-time, went to school at night. I would come home on the nights that I did not have class, and I would feed my family and put those cute little cherubs to bed at 8 o'clock, and then I would head to the local Shoney's. Now, for me, Shoney's was a little bit like Cheers. Everybody knew my name. I had my booth in the back, spread out all of my notes and my books, and I would study at Shoney's until 2 a.m. I would shut them down. Now, around midnight, the manager, feeling very sorry for me, would send over a piece of that famous Shoney's strawberry pie to try to get me through that midnight studying stretch. But I think the biggest obstacle for me was because I didn't plan to go to college, I didn't prepare for it either. You know, that was back before the days when you had Common Core curriculum where you were required to take math in high school before you went to college, and I didn't prepare very well. And so when I started in the community college, probably because of all of the strawberry pie and the stiff coffee there at the Shoney's, I really did very well. I was making straight A's. I really thought I was something else. And then came algebra. Now, I saved algebra till last because I knew I was bad at it. And as I was sitting in the classroom on my first opportunity to look at my first test, I remember very clearly when Professor Davis was her name, handed me my test. And I looked at the test, and in this bright crimson Sharpie, it said 62F. I failed the test, and I felt my pulse quicken and hot, embarrassing tears, running down my face. I was embarrassed. I really was dejected. I felt like a fraud. I felt like I really didn't belong in college. I didn't think I could do it. So I left the test, and I went to Professor Davis's office. Now, just to describe Professor Davis a little bit, I don't know, I'll date myself here, but does anybody remember Paper Chase? She was a little bit like Professor Kingsfield. For the young ones, you can Google that when you get back. She was all business, very austere-looking woman. She had these really thick horn-rimmed black glasses. She was pretty terrifying. She was not exactly known for her warmth, although she was a great algebra teacher. So there I am, this grown mother of two, sitting in her office, clutching this failed algebra test, sobbing inconsolably. And I said to her, I don't know what I was thinking. I can't do this. I'm just going to quit. I said to Professor Davis, I'm not smart enough to be in college. And Professor Davis looked over those horn-rimmed glasses, and she rolled her eyes, and she said, give me your paper. I slid my paper over, and she took out that red Sharpie, and she crossed out the F, and she put a D. She slid it back. Now, I can't explain why it was so comforting to me that that same 62 now had a D beside it instead of an F, but it was just oddly really great that I didn't fail the test. And she said to me, you can do this. Now, the next thing that Professor Davis said to me would change the course of my future. She said to me, you are smart enough. You are smart enough. I still weep when I think about that moment. Now, for her, she probably didn't remember that moment, that small act of kindness. She probably didn't remember that 2 minutes after she left to go to help, 50 other people who couldn't graduate from, college either without some extra help. But I remembered everything about that moment. It was a pivotal moment for me. And I left that room with an irrational level of confidence and exuberance that, hey, I can do this. So I went to the computer lab back in the days when you literally had to go to a computer lab, and I did the tutorials on a computer that was about the size of this lectern here, and I did the tutorials over and over and over again. Now, I learned for the first time in my life that a negative times a negative is a positive. Now, where are my math faculty? Raise your hand if you teach math. That makes no sense. Be that as it may, I learned it, I got the concepts, and by the end of that semester, I was actually able to pull that F all the way up to a C. Now, that would end up being the only C that I would ever make in all of my college days, partly because of the strawberry pie, you understand. But I was able to be successful. And as I think back and as I reflect on that snippet of my own personal story that I've shared with you today, there are a few takeaways that I think are appropriate to give to this wonderful graduating class of 2017. And the first one is small acts of kindness really make a difference as you navigate your future. She didn't have time. She was overworked. She was underpaid. She didn't really have time to comfort this sniveling mother who's concerned over this test, but she did do that. And as you find your way through life, look for opportunities to be encouraging and to show kindness to others who are trying to make their way. And secondly, I've been around higher education for several decades, and like Dr. Watts, I think I'll not mention the number, it makes me sound really old. And I've been around a lot of geniuses and a lot of people with really high IQs. I've been around a lot of people who have very fancy Ivy League degrees and a lot of research papers behind their resumes. And all of those things are fantastic, but they're not sufficient to be successful. And they're not necessary to be successful. Determination trumps almost everything else. So to the graduates of the University of Texas of the Permian Basin, congratulations and go Falcons.
It is tradition at an event like this where we have a commencement speaker to recognize that they've contributed greatly to you, the graduates, and some memento is usually appropriate. And this is a special speaker. She is the next president of the University of Texas, Permian Basin, so I thought it would be perfectly appropriate to have something that would represent that for her for the future. And we have, well, at any rate, I'll get here eventually. And we have one other thing. As president, Lord have mercy, she's going to have to take notes. She's going to have to write about this and write about that. And so we have a very fine portfolio entitled, oddly enough, the University of Texas of the Permian Basin. And we have one more commencement ceremony to go, so we're going to stick the gifts back under here. Thank you, Dr. Woodley. Thank you for sharing. It's now my pleasure to introduce our university choir, accompanied by the Falcon Wind Band and University Philharmonic. They will present for our enjoyment, and believe me, you're going to get blown away, the Battle Hymn of the Republic, and conducted by Jeb Harris, a spring 2017 UTPB graduate. Boy, I'm ready to march. Thank you so much, students in our music program. It really is thrilling to hear you perform. At this time, Dr. Dan Heimerman, Provost and Vice President, will present the candidates for graduate and undergraduate degrees.
Thank you, and good afternoon. I'd like to describe Latin honors. You may notice that many of the candidates for graduation are wearing a UTPB orange stole. These students are receiving Latin honors. Latin honors are a long-standing tradition of the Academy for recognizing outstanding achievement in one's coursework. As the graduates are called to walk across the stage to receive their diplomas, you will hear 3 levels of honors being announced. They are cum laude, with praise. These students have a grade point average of between 3.5 and 3.79 out of a possible 4.0. Magna cum laude, with great praise. These students have a grade point average of between 3.8 and 3.89. Summa cum laude, with highest praise. These students have a grade point average of 3.9 or higher. Would everyone please join me in congratulating the recipients of Latin honors? Veterans. We are also proud to recognize veterans who are graduating. Our graduating veterans wear the patriotic honor cords. The red, white, and blue cords symbolize the commitment and selfless service of our military. Will the graduating veterans please stand and be recognized? It is now time to introduce our undergraduate candidates. Will the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Music, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science please stand and remain standing? President Watts, it is my privilege to present to you, on behalf of the faculty of the University of Texas of the Permian Basin, these candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Music, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science. Graduate candidates, will the candidates for the degrees of Master of Arts and Master of Science please stand and remain standing? President Watts, it is my pleasure to present to you, on behalf of the faculty of the University of Texas of the Permian Basin, these candidates for the degrees of Master of Arts and Master of Science.
On the recommendation of the faculty, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University of Texas System, I now confer upon each of you the respective academic degree for which you have been recommended, with all the rights, privileges, responsibilities, and obligations appertaining thereunto. And I offer my sincere congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, graduates of Spring 2017. I'd like all the graduates to please be seated, except for those on the very front row who will be directed to the stage by the student marshals.
Bachelor of Music with a major in music, Allison Christine Bryant.
I'd like to personally acknowledge Allison Bryant. She came here when our music program was nascent, and I'd like you to meet the first drum major for the University of Texas of the Permian Basin Marching Fighting Falcon Band.
Jeb Clifton Harris, cum laude. Texas Kellogg King, cum laude. Collie Elliott Rowland. Bachelor of Science with a major in athletic training, Emily Jane Campbell. Bachelor of Science with a major in biology, Alexander Edilio Alegria. Christian Selene Bidoy. Jeanette Karen Bernardo Cala, summa cum laude. Mauricio Douglas Craig. Manda Shea Espinoza. Christopher Anthony Garcia. Vanessa Hernandez, magna cum laude. Kelly Leanne Lease. Jennifer Marie Livesey, magna cum laude. Jessica Pimentel. Natalie Nicole Scott, summa cum laude. Cassidy Brooke Taylor, summa cum laude, also receiving a degree in chemistry. Jacob Justiano Torre, cum laude. Christy Joe Williams, cum laude. Bachelor of Science with a major in chemistry. Leslie Angelica Felix, summa cum laude. Russell Roy Maharaj, magna cum laude. Anthony Xavier Martinez, cum laude. Jordan Alexandria McDonald, summa cum laude. Hao-Un Ping, magna cum laude. Jason Matthew Snitker, cum laude. Bachelor of Science with a major in computer science, Mark Anthony Almanza, Jr. Catherine C. Boyd, summa cum laude. Cassandra S. Cordova. I knew the first part. Jerry B. Hedin. Philip Guy Gotardo. Jonathan Robert Hostet. Benjamin Christian Kinsing, summa cum laude. Stephen Ishmael Romo. Nathan Jeffrey Pantalion, cum laude, with a second major in communication. Bachelor of Science with a major in geology, Craig Evan Bennett, Jr. Jimmy D. Burnt. Tabitha Vaughn Fletcher. Gabriela Madrid Garcia, cum laude. Rustan Buharbovich Wudirbi Diviz. David Muhizi Mbrerwa, cum laude. Jackson Bro Vines, cum laude. Bachelor of Science with a major in Information Systems, Amber Nicole Dominguez, cum laude. Chelsea Ray Ferris, cum laude. Bachelor of Science with a major in Kinesiology, Courtney Taylor Alcala. Kimberly Lee Alonzo. Jazzy Nicole Bell. Jerome Tyrell Boswell, cum laude. Sarita Mae Brown. Marjam Gricha Damstra. Eric Michael Diaz. Jeffrey Ryan Guevara. Robert Joseph Hagee III. Miley Page McKee. Chelsea Lee Mendoza, cum laude. Natalie Montoya. Alexa Nicole Mullen. Adam Matthew Munoz. Valeria Lucero Porras. Jacob Ray Ramirez. Shanna Joelle Taylor. Teague. Robert Shane Teague, cum laude. Megan Elizabeth Weber. Philip Daniel Wickenheiser, cum laude. Bachelor of Science with a major in Mathematics, Mexley Delgado. Chelsea Ann Franco. Megan Ramirez Fuentes. Kirsty Ann McWilliams, cum laude. Holly J. Richardson. Bachelor of Arts with a major in Child and Family Studies, Martha A. Aguirre. Erica Ann Alders. Christine Ann Bringy, cum laude. Kaylee Elizabeth Bird. Jennifer Jacqueline Hudson. Rosie Lizalde. Melena Dawn Moss. Sarah Catherine Ray. Caitlin Elizabeth Reyna. Ryan. Amanda Smith Ryan, cum laude. Armin Robledo. Bachelor of Arts with a major in Multidisciplinary Studies. Iris Benson, summa cum laude. Karen Ann Blanton, summa cum laude. Corina Camacho. Agatha Cortez. Daniela Diaz, magna cum laude. Amanda Ann Franco. Kaylee Ann Fulcher. Stacy Lynn Gallier. Sydney Shea Garcia, cum laude. Melissa Hernandez. Leah Nicole Irwin. Brittany Grace Kennedy. Julie J. Leva, cum laude. Brianna Danielle Moore. Rocio Liliana Ovalle. Lindsay Lene Roach. Madison Victoria Rosenberger. Marissa Caitlin Steele, magna cum laude. Gentry Lane Townsend, summa cum laude. Monica Diaz Vaughn. Omega Villanueva.
Will all the undergraduate degree recipients please stand? Ladies and gentlemen, there's one more symbolic gesture that is very common at commencement ceremonies. Graduates, please move your tassels from right to left. Ladies and gentlemen, undergraduate degree recipients 2017. Thank you. You may be seated. Will the master's degree recipients please rise and proceed to the stage as directed by the faculty marshals.
Master of Science with a major in Computer Science, Manuel Arturo Chuecos Rincon. Thomas William Davis. Master of Science with a major in Geology, James Innocent Akpobobame. Angela Obaji. Justice Chinamaram Oyinjingchinga. Adaku Linda Orajiaka. Master of Science with a major in Kinesiology, Sarita Shirley Adekari. Michelle Marie Bond. Master of Arts with a major in Bilingual Education, Anna Arndt. Imelda Loya. Crystal Nicole Rodriguez. Master of Arts with a major in Counseling, Kaylee Brooke Couch. Kendra Coileen Duckworth. Melissa Vandenberg. Dawn Renee Westby Garcia. Quincy Leah Whitehead. Master of Arts with a major in Educational Leadership, Samantha Michelle Campos. Kylie Ray Hankinson. Jessica Marie Hilbert. Julia Alexandra Catholic. Joy Michelle Mendoza. Joseph Jerron Phipps. Michael Robert Pike. Cynthia Grill Rodriguez. Barbara Delise Triplett. Stephen Ray Vigil, Jr. Master of Arts with a major in reading, Lindsay Mackenzie Vinzaguera. Master of Arts with a major in special education, Alexandria Renee Barr. Maria Susana Canava. Candace Gail James Shoemate. Cassidy Michelle Smith. Sarah June Wilson.
Okay, if all the graduates could please stand. You know, it takes a city, a town, a village, a family, all the graduates. Come on, get up. Takes the whole 9 yards to get a graduate through a master's degree or baccalaureate degree or beyond. So graduates, please turn and thank the audience, your friends, relatives, loved ones, for supporting you all these years. Thank you. You may be seated. All of you now are alumni of UTPB, and alumni such as you have worked closely with the university to ensure that we build and maintain an excellent faculty, a modern and well-equipped physical plant, and a highly motivated student body. The result is a well-respected university, one of which we can all be proud. Much of the work of the alumni on behalf of the university is conducted through the UT Permian Basin Falcon Alumni Network. It is now my privilege to introduce to you a member of the Falcon Alumni Network who will welcome you to it. Mr. Brian Schroeder is the Assistant Controller with the Sewell family of companies. He earned his bachelor's and then his master's in accountancy here at UTPB in 2009 and 2012, respectively. While attending UTPB, Schroeder was a member of the Falcon swim team from 2006 to 2010 and became a co-captain during his junior and senior years. He currently participates in organizations such as the Young Professionals of Odessa and the Bridge Methodist Church. During his free time, Brian enjoys playing ultimate frisbee and spending time with his wife and his two adorable sons. Please join me in welcoming Brian Schroeder.
Good afternoon, graduates. You've made it, but this is just the beginning. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Watts for his service to the community and the university. We wouldn't be where we are today without his guidance. I also want to welcome Dr. Woodley. We look forward to seeing the school continue to grow under your leadership. Graduates, I want to congratulate each and every one of you, and I hope you give me the chance to. As Dr. Watts said, I'm a member of Falcon Alumni Network, otherwise known as FAN. We are a growing group of alumni that want to network with you as well as find ways to contribute back to the university. There's no amount too small to give back, whether it's your time or your treasures. Every year, the Falcon alumni swimmers get together to feed the swim team while they are practicing over the holidays. And if you've ever had to feed an athlete in training, you know the struggle's real. If you're interested in joining, I would love to talk to you after the ceremony, or you can look FAN up on Facebook. I'm so proud of what my friends and I have been able to accomplish with an education that started here at UTPB. But this was just the beginning. Now, you and the people around you have worked very hard to get to this point, and this is a great accomplishment. But like I said, this is only the beginning. Where will you go from here? What will you do? What got you here today will not get you there, and your past successes will only get you through your first door. You must keep striving to learn more, do more, to achieve your goals. By walking this stage, you have shown the world and this community that you have the ability to make that happen. Every single one of us is capable of doing great things. Never underestimate yourself. You're smart, you're strong, you are and will forever be UTPB Falcons. Falcon Pride.
Brian, thank you. Appreciate it. Once again, the faculty and I join in congratulating each of you. Our best wishes are extended to you and your loved ones. But let me make a couple of parting words just before we leave. First of all, I'd like Emily Campbell to stand. Emily, if you would, please. Emily Campbell, as you can see, is one of our graduates. She's a graduating senior from New Braunfels, Texas. She's graduating with her Bachelor of Science in Athletic Training. What makes her graduation unique is that along with the recognition of completing her degree, she is the first UTPB student to pass the Board of Certification exam to become a certified athletic trainer. So Emily, we're proud of you, especially for being number one, for all of your accomplishments. Now I want to leave you with an observation. Brian mentioned Falcon Pride. Well, I want all of you to be proud of your university. I'm looking at a list of national recognitions for the university. The university's been recognized as one of the best online colleges, one of the most affordable, best online criminal justice degree, best engineering degree, best psychology degree, best counseling degree, has one of the strongest communication programs online, and a very strong and sound sociology program. So ladies and gentlemen, be proud of UTPB. You graduates, you're going to go out, if you don't already have a job, you're going to go out and get one. At least that's what the history of UTPB suggests. UTPB, out of 40 public universities, is always in the top 10 institutions for our graduates getting jobs in their major within less than a year after graduating. So stay tuned. Next year we'll be number 1 or number 2, but we're going to be in that top 10, and it'll be thanks to these graduates. So, audience, please remain seated during the recessional, and you can meet your graduate outside in the lobby. The photographer who is on stage has a station in the lobby. You can discuss with him any changes you'd like to have in the photograph of your loved one's graduation. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much.